And welcome back to part 7. 7? 7? That's the part we're on, right? 777? 7? Where are you? Part 7. Of what if Naruto went back in time with his memories? Last time So at this point, the timeline is now this. Events are still the main events are still happening, but what's happening in those main events, the side stuff, is now drastically altering things. For example, Sakura is now in the finals. Everyone knows Orochimaru is going to attack. Sasuke is going to be there on time, and because Sakura's in the finals, all the actual matches are completely different. So, yeah, the base stuff is the same. The ingredients in the base are completely altered. But yeah, last time we left off with the first match happening, which was Sasuke versus Temari. Now, Sasuke is on time. Everything's all well and good. Meanwhile, up in the stands before the match begins, the third, who knows this is now the Orochimaru in disguise, welcomes the Raikage, the fourth Raikage. It's like, I look forward to it. And Sarutobi's keeping his eyes on things. Now, likewise, there's more Anbu hidden than Orochimaru is even aware of. Jiraiya is also actually close by for a change. And yeah, so Orochimaru's way didn't go his way the first time either. But this is really not going to go his way. Beyond that, though, he's actually going to he wants to actually stay and watch some of these fights a bit more. So he will allow the exam to go beyond the first round because he's interested, in Naruto, because it's just how strong Naruto was in, but Sasuke as well. And he wants to see how either of them do against Gaara. So, with that said, the match between Sasuke and Temari begins. And one thing that is different with Sasuke, his outfit's changed, obviously. He's still got that black outfit, which, thinking on that outfit real quick, I'm wondering why he didn't keep it in terms of a design thing. It's weird, too. He had the black outfit when he attacked Itachi, and then when he wakes up in the hospital, he's in his standard blue and white outfit. So, what was that about? Did you hold on. Did you change him out of there? It'd be like, oh, get his pants off. Okay. Anyway, that implies things. Not necessarily those things, but just implies weird logic. In terms of why he didn't keep it, it's probably the same reason Naruto didn't keep the sage cloak. Kubo just drawing the other one better. Probably. Not Kubo, sorry, Kishimoto. Kishimoto enjoyed Kubo's bleach. Enjoyed maybe drawing him more in the other outfit. I don't know what the real reason to get rid of the sage cloak was, apart from a story reason that he lost it because of the Nine Tails. But you didn't have spares? It looked good on him, man. Come on. Anyway, so besides that, Sasuke does have a sword. We're being told that Sasuke did learn Kenjutsu and learned it pretty effectively. In the future, Kakashi decided to get him on a base regimen of learning Kenjutsu and gifted him a blade. Now, in terms of the blade, it's not that cool white-black sheath, square blade that he has from Orochimaru. It's probably something more basic than that. It's still a sword, not like a tanto, but it's probably more like a basic black handle, all that. I mean, it's an effective sword. It does its job. More importantly, though, Sasuke has probably learned how to channel lightning chakra through this. As well as having the Chidori, he's probably also got one or two other lightning jutsu under his belt that he's probably not going to need, because this is Temari who uses wind, so the fact that he's predominantly actually a fire style user, probably going to help, and he's a close combat specialist. Regardless, the match begins. Temari gloats about how she gets the cute one, and Sasuke's just, yeah, not impressed. Ooh, touchy. Well, so sorry, big boy, but I got to do this thing, and she just, opens the wind scythe, uses the wind scythe, or I think that was the wind scythe, or whatever it was. Sasuke, however, just fires that fireball jutsu, and they collide, and Sasuke does have more chakra than Temari, as far as we know. Not to say that actually Temari has a low amount of chakra. As far as we can tell, Temari actually had a probably pretty solid amount of chakra because she could span that without too much difficulty multiple times. And that was not a low small jutsu, so she probably had a solid chakra reserve. But Sasuke almost certainly has, based on the jutsu we see him use at that point in time, like how much chakra it takes to use the Chidori alone, and the fact he could pull off at least two, probably three in this version, because he's been able to train with his chakra reserves, chakra control, all that, and because Kakashi probably pushed him. Yeah, he can probably get three off, and that's a lot of concentrated chakra in your hands. So he's probably got more chakra by a decent margin than her. So he can make a bigger fireball, which means they clash and fire beats wind. So unless the wind jutsu is stronger than the fireball, the fire jutsu is going to win. Tamari's not stupid though. She's throwing out kunai, trying to trip him up. However, Sasuke just blocks it and it explodes like explosive seals. Like gotcha, it's like gotcha, and she just throws a bunch more and then uses the wind style again to just blow the kunai towards him. Sasuke, meanwhile, is using his is not even using his Sharingan to like block. He's just rushing in. Eventually, it gets to the point where he's the substitution. He's able to get behind her and just has the blade right at her neck. I think that's what it is. Like, that's game over. You lose. Like, damn it. And like, the winner is Sasuke Uchiha. And, Sasuke cheers. Everyone's cheering. Sasuke's like, yep, I'm awesome. Seriously, though, he's like, yeah, thank you. And the Raikage comes like very impressive. Although I don't think we've seen. I doubt that's his full capabilities. Is it? Those aren't his full capabilities, are they, Sartobi? No, not at all. As a matter of fact, he's already gained a good control over his Sharingan, being the last Uchiha and all. He's just goading him. I see. Well, it'll be interesting to see how he matches up later down the line and later down in the matches. So Sasuke goes up. Naruto gives him a fist bump. It's like, right on. And by the way, I said my piece on why I think Sasuke is a lot more chilled out here. So if someone still has an issue with how I'm depicting Sasuke, sorry. I think I'm depicting Sasuke just right as he should be at this point, given everything that's happened. So they fist bump. It's all well and good. Then the second match comes, which is Neji versus Dosu. Now, Dosu actually could take down Neji. If Neji wasn't careful, Dosu would take him down because, as far as we can tell, he has no defense against his abilities. It's like Neji Yuga versus Dosu. We don't have your last name. Begin. It's like, well, I don't have time to waste with you. So, and he just clangs both of those things together. Just boom. And then Neji just rushes in. What? What? I used the full power of that. You should have been knocked out unconscious immediately. He just takes out some wax or an earplug or something. Yes. Sorry. What were you saying? I went as soon as I saw the as soon as you clanged your arms together, I knew the match had started. Well, actually, as soon as the proctor had lowered his arm, I knew the match had started. And plus, when you so I just waited for you to attack and then look for an opening. But of course, you use sound base, so I came prepared. So Neji just takes out the earplugs because Neji would be smart enough to do that. And Dosu's really actually. Now, granted, if Dosu hit him straight on like he did Choji, we know that attack would actually F him up. With Choji specifically, he was a huge target at that point. With anyone else, it probably wouldn't be quite as bad. But in theory, I mean, Dosu can literally manipulate his sound waves either into your inner eardrum, into your body, to discombobulate you. In theory, if he hit the right frequency, he could burst an organ. So Dosu's attacks are actually pretty effed up and powerful. There's a reason he was the leader of the team. Zaku kind of had like a wind-based sound move, and Keen used basically sound-based genjutsu. But no, Dosu was the leader of that team for a reason. There's a lot you could apply with his techniques. But anyway, so Dosu's like, damn it, and he just gets dragged out. It's like, Neji, where's Neji? And like all the crowd cheers. Hinata's not really cheering, although she's at least clapping for him. And Kiba says, "You're clapping for him after what he did." Hinata's obviously very forgiving about it. It's okay. I don't blame him for what happened to him. It's like, seriously, Hinata, you are way too nice for your own good. Anyway, you better. And then he teases because while some fanfics like to portray it that Kiba does have a thing for Hinata, there's actually no evidence to suggest that's nothing more than like a teammate brother-sister type relationship. I honestly get the impression he really looks out for her like a sister. And so I could see him completely saying this next part, saying, "Hey, but it's all good after all. Your boyfriend's up next," and Tina just blushes and he just grins. Like, the next match is Sakura Haruno versus Naruto Uzumaki, and they both look at each other and they both give a nod. They knew they were going to face each other, and they knew this was going to happen. Naruto has learned a bit during his time. He's now got his Winjutsu is perfectly fine. He's also been working on just about all the elements. Like I said, he has at least the base jutsu for every element at this point. He has the Raging Torrent, the Mud Wall. I'll go with the False Lightning here for the Lightning Jutsu. He's got an extra Fire Jutsu under his belt as well. Obviously, Wind being his affinity is the one he's got the most jutsu with, plus having the Summoning Jutsu, and plus, aiding with the Rasengan training as well. So he's brushed up a bit. He actually didn't really improve that much. He just regained some stuff, which really helped him out, but yeah, he wasn't really preparing for Sakura because he just doesn't know what Sakura is bringing to the fight. Sakura, meanwhile, well, why don't you let the guys in the stands talk about it? And on cue, as some of the Jonin are watching, Haku and Zabuza are standing there as well. So Haku, Zabuza, how are you two? How have you been? And I'll just assume this is a good question. So have you guys been adjusting? And Zabuza said, I gotta admit, your village is pretty good. They took me off probation a little sooner than normal, and they had me out in the field pretty quick. Been on a couple good assassination missions. He just kind of giggles. It's like, oh boy. How about you, Haku? Thank you. Yes, me and Zabuza have been adapting very well. Your village is quite welcoming. Speaking of which, you helped Sakura with her training during the month, didn't you, Haku? Indeed. Do you think she can actually beat Naruto? And Haku, surprised, said, no, I don't. It's like, why? Because she doesn't think she can beat Naruto. Despite everything she learned, and she learned quite a bit. She doesn't seem to believe she has what it takes. But she said the match really wasn't about beating him. It's going to be about proving that she can compete with him and Sasuke. And she's getting ready to. She and Naruto. She both got Kuna. Naruto's getting in positions. Like, what do you mean? She feels that she's fallen behind on the team. Sasuke and Naruto are advancing too quickly for her to keep up. So she really put in the effort in the last month. I think you're about to see some major improvement. And so the fight begins, and Naruto and Sakura. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to. I just wanted to remember how I wrote this out. So Sakura, immediately fires off the kunai, comes in, uses the rock, uses one of the techniques he learned, the rock fist technique. I think that's what it's called. I like the meteor fist better, to be honest, or crater fist. Crater fist is a good name. But rock fist technique that she picked up thanks to not Haku or Kunai, but just some learning she did on her own. She probably did ask Kunai for an extra Earth Jutsu for offensive purposes, and this is what she got. Plus, Sakura's physicality is also a lot higher now. She even says one of the things we worked on with Sakura specifically was her physicality. And she comes in, and Naruto just uses a Gale Palm to kind of soften the blow. And surprisingly, she's pushing him back. Keep in mind, she has not learned the chakra control techniques for super strength from Tsunade yet. This is just pure her physical strength. Holy crap! Great breakthrough! Boom, and just blasts her back. Naruto then comes in, and he's impressed. So he's like, you want me to take this serious, Sakura? I'm going to take this serious. And Tornado Fist is like, Wood Style Mud Wall! And it hits, cracks, and bursts through. Sakura suddenly disappears as it hits. And Naruto realizes, Genjutsu, crap. And the fox actually laughs. I was like, I can't believe you fell for that. I was like, well, you could help, I could, but where's the fun in that? It's like, oh, you son of a... All of a sudden, out of nowhere, a multitude of Senbuns are coming right at Naruto. Who's like, great breakthrough! To which all of a sudden, Sakura appears out of the ground in another Genjutsu technique. She never actually left. And all of a sudden, just crap, actually lands a shot right on Naruto, who's just like, oh! goes flying back. He catches himself with some wind. Just okay, all right. I admit, Sakura, you've gotten pretty good. It's like thanks, but I'm not done yet. And all of a sudden, more kunai show up and say Earth Style as a new technique I'm just creating right now. Say not kunai, but senbon. Earth senbon jutsu or stone senbon jutsu as rocks show up, and it's like kind of like the water needle technique, but with like smaller senbon shaped rocks. And he's like, oh, crap, crap, crap. And all of a sudden, he feels one of his arms go dead. Just, like, what? It's like, got you, Naruto. It's like, damn, she really has gotten good. And then, Crater Fist, Water Style, Sword, Raging Torrent. And then, because water is strong against, well, no, is it water strong against Earth? No, Earth. Sorry, it's lightning strong against Earth. My bad. And then Naruto just says, lightning style, false darkness, and just cracks her fist. Ah! Her fist goes numb from the electricity. Just Naruto not able to form his chakra as well because some of his chakra points were hit. Just, okay, come on, give me. All right. He just kind of like, give me some of the chakra. It's like, all right. And then he just powers them, just forces them out. And his arm's still numb, but he's just. And it's like, all right, Sakura. Yeah, all right, Sakura. Yeah, I acknowledge your strength. I acknowledge how strong you've got. But unfortunately, I'm going to win this. And then Sakura now is on the back foot. One of her arms is numb, so she can't really mold it, and she can't do one-hand signs. Right? As good as her chakra control is, one-hand signs are something we only saw really advanced people do. The reason Naruto can do it is just because of the memories, practice, and practice, and practice, and practice. So it definitely aids in his ability to do one-hand signs. And sometimes, like, the Gale Pump he could just do. He still needed to kind of mold his hand signs, and maybe he did it quick as he could with, like, his numb hand. Sakura could theoretically do that as well. She'd still have to mold the chakra. So Naruto comes in and just comes in and just seems to disappear. He's got that glow over it because he's got the chakra pumping through and just, sorry, Sakura, poof, and just, and she's just kind of out. And she's done. It's like, Sakura Haruno can battle. The winner is Naruto Uzumaki, and everyone cheers. Yeah! And then Sakura kind of, wakes up. It's like, oh, what happened? Naruto's kind of carrying her, and she's blushing being in his arms. It's like, what? It's like, oh, sorry, you were out cold. Let me put you down. And she's blushing like, because, again, it's one of those things where she's acknowledging Naruto is a good friend. He's strong. He hasn't been annoying in God knows how long. And now she gets to look at it and it's like, he actually isn't bad looking. No, you love Sasuke. Oh, how this is affecting the timeline. Ultimately, it's not going to matter. I'm messing around with Sakura here, and maybe I'll have it be like a minor plot point, but I ultimately am not. I'm not making it anything major for the story. Maybe there could be a scenario with Hinata and Sakura kind of talking about things. Which, by the way, I could see Hinata getting a little jealous as Sakura wakes up in his arms, blushing a bit. But anyway, so that is the end of that match. Everyone and the Raikage again, Kazekage again. I might have said Raikage previously. My apologies. Kazekage again. Comments like that boy is quite strong. The Kunoichi was not bad either. Indeed, you've raised some very powerful shinobi here, Sir Tobe. It's like indeed, but from what I'm told, this next one of yours is nothing to be. From what I've seen of him so far, Gaara is quite the powerful shinobi indeed as well. It's like, he is the pride and joy of our village, and so Gaara and Shino are squaring off. Now, if you're expecting something amazing with this fight, I'm going to disappoint you. Because realistically, there's not much Shino, at least at this point in time, could do against Gaara. In fact, there's actually not much Shino could do against Gaara normally anyway. And here's the reason for it. The fight begins. Shino is kind of throwing bugs at Gaara to kind of keeping at distance because he knows he cannot get caught by the sand. Unfortunately, his insects are also getting caught in the sand, and when they try to move out, eat the chakra, Gaara knows this and just crushes them. Ultimately, Gaara is able to eventually catch Shino off guard, gets him in the sand, crushes him, only for it to be revealed it was a bunch of bugs. And Gaara suddenly feels like almost itchy. And he realizes, my sand armor is chipping away, as he notices that there are insects on his body that just passively walked on him. They didn't. They didn't come in with any aggression. That's why his sand didn't instinctively react to it. And it's eating the chakra away that keeps the armor on his skin. So he's just, what? My armor? It's like, yeah. It's like I finally able to get through. And then they are even going after the sand gourd and the chakra in his gourd, and it's disrupting that. So now it's Shino trying with all his might to like do Aburame art, insect beetle tsunami, and then tsunami, and then he comes over kind of like a wave. Guard just like and just swipes at him with his chakra and just again crushes them. It's the inherent problem of this matchup where there's so much sand at Gaara's disposal, and he can create more sand from the ground by fusing his chakra with it, that Shino only has a limited amount of insects. The fact also that Gaara has multiple layers of defense, not just the sand shield, but his sand armor, without him actually being touched, let me rephrase that sentence. And the sand armor means that Shino has to get through both the reflexive sand shield, which is nigh impossible to get through by most Genin level opponents at that point, and he has to get through the sand armor he wears too. And then he has access to his actual body. And at that point, Shino's going to be running out of ammo, to which Shino eventually says, Fracture, I give up. What? And it's like, I can't beat you. I only have a little bit of my hive left, and I'd rather not lose it just to prove something. It's like, the match is over. So I expect you to react appropriately. He just kind of just huffs off. Damn it! Just walks off. So yeah. And then the last match, Shikamaru versus Kakuro, doesn't happen because Kakuro opts out because that's what they told him to do. So this next match, so that means your following matches for round 2 of the finals is Sasuke versus Neji. They take like a 15-minute breather. Gaara still kills some people. Naruto just stares him down. Shikamaru's freaked out. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not. If I fight him, you both are crazy. I'm just gonna opt out the minute I have to fight one of you two. But then Neji and Sasuke are kind of staring at each other down, like the Hyuga versus Uchiha rivalry is kind of set in motion. Like, so, what do you think, Lord Kazekage? I think it's going to be quite an interesting round 2. And Kabuto's probably waiting in the stands, like, what are you waiting for, Lord Jamara? No, I see. You're waiting to see how Naruto fares against Gaara and Sasuke against stronger opponents. I see. And so the wait time's over. Sasuke and Neji enter the ring. So it's Sasuke and Neji and Gaara and Naruto. And yeah, all 3 out of the 4 of them have Orochimaru's interest on some level. Sasuke for obvious reasons. He wants his body. Naruto because of some of the things he said and just how strong he really was. Gaara because he's the Shikaku container and he's going to be basically the bomb dropped on the village. And look, I think he can even get a little interest in Neji too because he is a Hyuga prodigy. Of the Yakugan, I imagine would be on Orochimaru's list of things to get at some point. He's just more interested in getting the Uchiha first. So the ultimate problem would be getting a main, not a branch member, but a main house member, not a branch member. I think that would be the biggest problem. And I think that's probably why Orochimaru held off on ever trying to get a Hyuga, because getting a main branch Hyuga is a lot more difficult than getting getting a main house Hyuga is more difficult than getting a branch Hyuga, and branch Hyuga have the seals. So if he suddenly took that body, he'd have the seal embedded on him as well, which would suck. Now, and that's a last question, I guess, to raise, and an interesting question. If he took a branch Hyuga member's body with the seal on there, assuming he made it 3 years, nothing happened, he still had the Byakugan and the seal, and then he swapped bodies again, would the seal carry over? My guess is no, it wouldn't carry over. That seal was specifically attached to that body, but at the same time, jutsus carry everything that Orochimaru learns is jutsu, and Kekkei Genkai clearly, because he wanted the Sharingan, carry over to Orochimaru. But the thing is, the seal wasn't placed on Orochimaru himself. It was placed on the body he took. and then swapped out of. I don't know. I would think seals wouldn't carry over. They'd have to be repurposed onto the to the new body. What do you think? That's a good question. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think that a seal like the bird seal would carry over to Orochimaru if he changed bodies after that, or do you think it wouldn't do? It wouldn't. I don't think it would, but it's an interesting question. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you next week for part 8, and see you guys on the flip side. Later.